Okay, next we'll go inside, and on my model the coach batteries are underneath the step here. I replaced the factory batteries with these Trojan deep cell 12 volt batteries. The model number is T1275 on each. Gives me a total of 560 minutes of 12 volt power at a 25 amp draw. So that's almost 10 hours of capacity for dry camping. Over here to the left I installed a 200 watt inverter, which I have wired up here to a 115 volt power strip to power my TVs or my computer that I bring along. Over here is another baseboard heater that I put in for the bed over the cab area. Again, 115 volt, draws about 4 amps of power when it's operating. Here is a tape deck and radio I installed. On the top is a 100 watt amplifier, and I removed the solid panels that were on the end here and put in some canvas mesh so I can get sound out of the speakers which sit directly behind. Gives a nice stereo effect. Here is another baseboard heater I put in underneath the table. Keeps your legs nice and warm in the morning when you're having breakfast. Here is another heater I put in for the rear bedroom. Here's a quick shot of the flat screen TV I put in. I think it's a 16-inch. I've got it wired so I can either use the generated power or shore power by pushing it in the top receptacle, or I just use the bottom receptacle if I'm on the inverter. So I got my choice there. And here's the factory propane heater. This is the return air grill. I took off the grill and I insulated the entire housing on the inside. Kind of deadens the noise of the furnace quite a bit. And then I installed a little foam filter behind the grill so all the air gets filtered going into it. Keeps the motor and the fan blade and the controls nice and clean. This is one of the air vents which I actually turned around. It used to sit flush, but I turned it around so I've got a 4-inch flange sticking out now, and I simply put a 4-inch piece of metal pipe over that, and I have it aimed up here, and it blows over the sleeping area, keeps it really nice and toasty. This is a little indicator light that I wired to the water heater. I have it wired in parallel to the water heater gas valve, so whenever it goes off, then I'll know that I have enough hot water for my shower. This is my little propane stove, which I don't use, so I bought a piece of vinyl flooring and just glued it up there so it acts as a nice little counter space for preparing food. I installed this little outlet here for the kitchen. There wasn't one. I filled the cavity underneath the dining room seat here with the bat insulation. There's about 18 inches of height, which I filled in. And it kind of deadens the generator noise quite a bit because the generator is suspended right underneath the floor in that location. Then for really, really cold weather camping, which I've done, I have a 220 volt heater under here. It's about a 4.5 kW heater. Draws about 22 amps of 240 volt power. I've got it wedged in there pretty good. It's sealed up. Makes a big difference heating this coach area when it's cold out. Handles the load without any problem at all. The return air goes into the back of this heater via a grill which I cut into the cavity. Takes return air in here and finds its way behind and under the refrigerator, goes underneath the stove, and finally to the back of the heater that I installed under the cabinet there. I think that's about it on the inside. Here's a shot of the whole inside of the RV. And then I'll take a quick pan this way. It's ideal for me. I got 6 foot 10 inch of clearance here from floor to ceiling, and I happen to be 6 foot 4, so I've got plenty of standing room, which is real nice. And finally, inside the cab, I installed some temperature readout gauges. Got 3 of them mounted on a piece of wood back here. It fits real nice in there. And I've got the outside temperature, the engine oil temperature, and the transmission oil temperature. And these use a remote sensing bulb, and I've got that attached to the engine oil cooler line and the transmission oil cooler line, so I can monitor my temperatures. And I guess finally I installed this privacy curtain. I bought this online. It's a real thick curtain. It gives me privacy, and it really keeps a lot of the cold air out of the coach area when I'm camping. So I keep that drawn all the time. And I'll leave you with a neat picture that I found, and kind of sums up the entire RVing experience. And here it is. It's a picture of a Class C motorhome, if you can see that way back there. Very similar to what mine looks like. Looks like it's out in the Arizona desert somewhere, with the caption on the bottom, RVing, getting away from it all. That kind of says it all right there. That's it. If you got any questions, shoot me an email. I can give you more information. Thank you.